jealousy is not really something that we like to talk about.
What I really loved about this Jealous podcast is it's going to put me into that sense of like, how do you enjoy what you have?
Welcome to Jealous Podcast. I am Mackenzie and I'm joined with
Emily.
Emily. What's up?
Not much.
How's it going today?
Pretty good.
Smells like chili in here.
It does smell like chili in here. I'm really hungry. So.
I know. Sam has decided it is what? Today is Tuesday, October 27th is Chili Day at Bing Bang. And he's made his award-winning? No.
It's good though.
Well,
Heartwarming.
Heartwarming, belly-warming, and soothing. I don't know.
Belly soothing. Chili.
It cures the common cold. Okay, I don't think we can put that label on it. But
That one might be taken. I don't know.
yeah, actually, like by Tylenol.
We're taking it and putting it with chili.
Yeah. Oh, God. Oh, man. We went off the rails quick. But yeah, so who did you have on today?
I had Krista from Smoky Row, and it was such a fun episode to do. I just had a lot of questions, a lot of things I was wondering, just going into these Smoky Row spaces. So it was fun to get a quizzer and ask her some questions.
Yeah, you had a lot of great questions, and it was so awesome just hearing about how Smoky Row came to be. Like I said, I have a love story myself with Smoky Row.
Yes.
My grandma and I would go over there in Oskaloosa, and then I moved to Pella, and we'd meet over there. And then, after every one of my kids' doctor's appointments, I swing by the Smoky Row drive-thru on the way out because it's just right on the way.
Yeah.
And now there's one right across the road, and it's going to be dangerous.
Yes.
For my pocketbook.
Yes. Yeah, and I forgot to mention this in there, but I actually, my son, if it's like the first day of school, their last day of school, when I pick him up from school, I always swing by Smoky Row and I get him a cookie and a Green River.
Oh,
and
yes.
So if we come back, now he wants it if we come back from like a break too. So
Yes.
if I forget, it's like, Mom, where is my cookie?
Yes.
So it's just creating those memories and just the nostalgia of all of it is so cool. But
It is so cool. Yeah, she had a lot of great information to share. I'm so glad that she did come on and share because she's a busy lady.
She is. And I had no idea how integrated she was in that business and how much stuff she was doing for it. I was like, what?
Oh, my gosh. I know. I would be so burnt out. I don't know. She's awesome.
She's an amazing lady. So I'm glad we could have her on here because I think it was just a fun episode to do. So
Yes. Well, thanks for bringing her on, and you all enjoy.
yeah, thanks.
Thank you for joining us on Jealous Podcast. And Emily, thanks for having Krista.
Yeah. I'm excited to get to talk to her. We've met just one time. We collaborated on something for the youth initiative that I do down in Pleasantville. And so I just thought their story was really cool, and I really enjoyed just the little bit of time that we got. So I was wanting to bring her on here and just kind of get like more of the story. But
Very cool. So, Krista, I'm just going to have you go ahead and introduce yourself and who you are, what you do. Just have at her.
I'm Krista Bennett, and I own Smoky Row Coffee. I live in Pleasantville, and that's it.
Oh, come on.
there's so much more.
I'm a mom.
yeah.
Cool. Well, Smoky Row is amazing. I have a love story with Smoky Row. So I lived in Pella for a few years, I guess, and it was just right up the street. So, oh my gosh, so good. And then, I came to Des Moines, continued our love story, and now it's like you're following me around.
I know, we're right across the
just
street.
right across the
Yeah.
street. So that's going to be dangerous for
Right.
me, for sure.
Yeah.
So kind of just get back to the podcast. So it is Jealous Podcast. So Emily did bring you on because she's a little bit jealous of you.
Yeah.
So when you think of the word jealous, kind of where does your mind go? What's kind of how do you think of jealousy?
Right. So when I first heard that, I was like, oh, well, that's kind of like negative. That I feel kind of bad about that. What do I talk about with that? But, I started thinking about, well, who am I jealous of? And it's my sister. Like, she's amazing. She's an amazing mom. She's an amazing wife. She's an amazing sister. She has great work ethic, and she works with me. So
Very good.
But so yeah, and all those amazing moms that are, doing everything for their kids and their house, and yeah.
Awesome.
And also
Who
starting
aspire to be-
companies. And
Yes,
keeping those
exactly.
going.
The hustle.
The
I
hustle,
know.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. When Emily was like, I'm going to bring her on, I'm like, yeah, I'm jealous of her too, for sure. For several reasons. You built this amazing brand. It's like an empire here in Des Moines. I think it's so, so cool. So yeah, we just like to get close to the people we're jealous of to learn their secrets and, things like that. That's kind of what we decided.
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, I'll just kind of turn it over to Emily and
Sure.
you can grill her and I'll just be here to listen and intervene if it gets a little too serious.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure it's going to get really serious if I'm on here. So I just wanted to go back to like the beginning kind of Smoky Row and the start, because I know that it started in Pleasantville.
Right.
And that is why I have so much pride whenever I worked downtown for a while. And then when the downtown Smoky Row came in, I was like, oh yeah, I know all about Smoky Row. You ask me their menu, I know it. Like I know everything about it. And so just kind of like, how did you start it? Why did you want to start Smoky Row in the first place?
So I've been kind of collecting businesses for a long time. It didn't just start with Smoky Row.
Oh, okay.
So started out doing freelance graphic design.
Okay.
Then decided, I should open a flower shop. That's a great idea. And I opened an antique store, and then I opened a video store, and then I was driving to Des Moines every day to get coffee, sometimes twice a day. I decided I have an issue. So
From Pleasantville, you're driving to Des Moines.
Right,
And that's
yeah.
how far is that?
it's like 30 minutes.
Yeah,
Oh
30
my
minutes.
gosh.
Pleasantville, I always call Pleasantville as like an anomaly because we're 30 minutes away from everywhere.
Yeah,
Everything.
that's
yeah.
true.
Yeah. So I thought, great idea. Let's open a coffee shop.
Yeah.
So
So really it came from a personal need for coffee.
exactly. Yeah.
Hey.
I love
Feed my
that.
addictions.
All of our best ideas are a little selfish, you
Yeah.
know,
Heck yeah.
self-serving. They should be.
All of Pleasantville thanks you.
All of
tell
Des
ya.
Moines. Man.
It's kind of funny. People from Pleasantville, a lot of people think that the Des Moines store was the first store. And people from Pleasantville are like, oh, no.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it started here.
Yeah, no, we're
Territorial.
staking our pride in that. Us Peeville girls
Right.
stick together.
Actually,
That's funny.
Yeah, so do you feel like when you launched the downtown location in Des Moines, was that really what like kickstarted it, or was it something before that, you think?
I mean, Pella was great as well,
Yeah.
because so many tourists there, and the community was so great. And then we did it at Oskaloosa, but Des Moines just really, the brand awareness went up so
Yeah.
huge. So.
Yeah. I think it was like every time I turned around, there was some kind of, I always do this, I'm like pounding on the table. Every time I turned around, it seemed like there was some interview was happening at that downtown location. Like there was some politician in there talking, and I was just like, that is so cool. Like
Right.
it's so cool to go in there when I was working downtown, and you would see people, like the news anchors were in there, and it just kind of felt like the who's who of Des Moines was kind of like chilling at Smoky Row.
Right.
And so,
And I think that's part of it. It's just a place to go be seen and to see people. And
yeah.
yeah.
I love that. So how many locations do you have right now?
okay, so we opened Ankeny this year.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, 2 days after the pandemic kind of hit and everything shut down.
Good timing.
We opened
Perfect.
a new store. So,
That's great.
and then we opened Jordan Creek Parkway and Waukee here in the last month. And those are partnership stores with Hy-Vee Fast and Fresh.
Yes, love it. I've been over there several times already, and yeah.
So I guess the next question we all have, is this going to continue with the partnership
Yeah.
with Hy-Vee?
Yeah. We've got several more stores planned for the metro and surrounding area, so we're really excited.
Oh man, y'all, this is exciting news.
Yeah.
It is very exciting, and it's kind of a perfect combination. I mean, two Iowa brands, or Midwest brands, I should say.
Right.
maybe. Yeah, Iowa.
Yeah.
How did that kind of come about? Sorry if I'm.
No, you
stealing
go,
your
girl.
questions.
We're both here.
We started talking about 10 years ago.
Oh,
It's
wow.
been like a huge process. And that kind of fell off for a few years, and then they invited us back to start talking about getting our coffee on the shelves in all the stores. And we've been doing that for a few years, and that's amazing. And I think they've got this new push for local brands, and because they are so proud of their Iowa roots, and they see what's happening with our stores in Des Moines, and they're like, we want to be a part of that. So yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been really fun.
Very cool.
I love that.
Awesome. I do
That's-
too.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
So I think the next thing I want to know, I think I know the answer to this question, but I might not. I want to know why you named it Smoky Row.
Oh,
Okay, yeah. So I found a notebook the other day that had all these names that when we were brainstorming, I was cleaning out and I found it. I'm like, oh my gosh, these are ridiculous.
What it could have been.
Cocoa monsters and all this crazy stuff. But there was a history book that Pleasantville put out in 1976, and I was reading through that, and the street that Smoky Row was on had burned down several times in the 1800s and the 1900s, and the whole street would be demolished.
Oh.
And so instead of calling it Monroe Street, the residents started calling it Smoky Row. And when we bought the building, it was because it had caught on fire at a sheriff's sale. So that seemed apropos, I guess.
Yeah.
Seemed appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I know.
That's really, really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew bits and pieces of that story. Like, I knew it had caught on fire. I didn't realize that it was like the whole block was
Right.
on fire. Didn't
Yeah.
realize that.
Yeah.
Really
That's cool. It's like a piece of history too. And I think it's cool, like when you walk into, I know the one in Pleasantville because I pretty much live there my days off. There's like a lot of just history of our community on the walls, and I think it's so cool, these like spaces that you create, and it is a place that people can come together, but then also learn a little bit of history. And so I think that that's so cool. So I don't know if you want to talk about like what inspired you to kind of put up those pictures and want to create that type of space.
Well, obviously I was in the antique business also
Oh,
at
yeah.
that time, so was collecting a lot of Pleasantville memorabilia, and it just, people really are drawn to that. They feel like that sense of home when they come in and they see photos of this store that was there before them or that business that's no longer there. And the cool thing is when they bring people in from out of town, they're like, oh, we got to go to Smoky Road because I got to show you this picture on the wall. Or
Oh, yeah,
my
that's
Uncle
cool.
Eddie's in that basketball photo or
Oh,
whatever,
yeah.
you know. And now it's to the point where they're bringing stuff to me, which I really love. I don't even have to go find it.
Oh,
They
wow.
just, you know,
Thank you.
Grandma died, and here's these great photos. So, yeah,
That's so
Awesome.
cool.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
I love how each one, it's very unique. And my grandma and I would always go meet over in the Oskaloosa one. That's just like, that was our spot. So I
Yeah.
just love it with the big marquee. Doesn't have the big marquee over
Yeah.
there, and it's huge and it's beautiful, and it's right next to that, the book vault. And I'm like, this is so cozy. That is my like tagline, always be cozy. So when I go into Smoky Row, I just always feel, so cozy. I went over there when it was
Right.
snowing the other day, and I'm like, damn, this is just cozy. I love it. I could just move in here.
There's nothing better than having a cup of coffee and watching the snowfall on the
Yes.
square.
Yes.
Yeah, I just love all those spaces. Like, I just feel like you've really created that cozy environment, that inviting environment. I know, like, I've told you this before, but when I was in high school is when Smoky Row came out. And so it was where we went after practice. We would go hang out at Smoky Row because we lived out of town, and then my mom would come and get me. And so that is where my husband and I had our first date.
What?
And, like, there's all these, like, just super, like, these memories that it's a special place for me, and it always will be. And so it's just like, I think that you're creating that in every community that there's a Smoky Row, you're creating a space for community. And I just absolutely love that concept. I think you guys have done a killer job of just creating these spaces that are just like, they're so inviting, they're so fun, and then they serve in different ways. I feel like the downtown one is super fun, but it kind of is like a business meeting type of place. Pleasantville, Pella, those are more like college town in Pella, you know,
Yeah.
like you got the collegiate kind of feel in there, and those college kids working. I love the energy at that one. I've been in there a couple times, like during Tulip time, and I feel like the energy with those kids is just like super high, super fun. I just love it. I think you've done an awesome job.
Yes,
So.
they're all so good for creativity, because when I lived in Pella, that's when I needed to be creative and get away from my desk. That's where I would go, and I just felt like all my good ideas came when I was sitting at Smoky
It's either that or
Row.
the coffee.
Yeah, it was like a nice combo. I'd,
Yeah.
like sit upstairs and like do a bunch of work, drink my coffee, and like spy on people. I'm like, oh, what are those two meeting down there for? Got some gossip, some hot goss.
Right.
I love it.
I love it that you met your husband there for your first date.
Yeah, I remember it specifically because we were in 10th grade, and my friend had called me at my friend's house, and then it was one of his friends, and he was like, hey, will you date Mike Hawkins? Sorry, Mike. I'm just saying your name. And I was like, yeah, I will. He's so cute. And so then he was like, meet me at Smoky Row. And so we met up there, and this is probably too much information, but I'm going to say it anyway. So we actually had like our first kiss in the parking lot.
Aw,
like,
so cute.
I know, it's so adorable.
Coffee breath kiss.
I know. It's like,
So we call those Smoky romances.
Oh my.
There's so many of them.
Really?
Yeah, we have so many employees that have gotten married and
oh my
started
goodness.
off by being, working together. So that's always kind of fun.
I love
Smoky
that.
romance.
Yep, add me
Yeah.
to your list. I'm on there.
Cute. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it's amazing the love that can spark over green rivers.
Right.
Oh, that's good.
Totally. So I was going to ask you, so in your space, since we're talking about your space, there's always artwork on the walls, like these chalkboards, and the menus are always really cool. Who does that? How do you do that? I want to know more about that.
That's me.
Is that you?
That's me,
Seriously?
yeah.
Gosh.
Which I'm trying to figure out with more stores up, and I'm like, how am I going to do all these chalkboards and all of these locations?
Oh, yeah.
But,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, that's the fun part.
Yeah, so
And-
you like to create it is a work of art. Like, they're so cool.
Oh, thanks.
I always see them, and I think that they're so neat. And so it's just like, so you just go, do you freehand that, or do you use like some kind of,
Yeah, just freehand.
just
Yeah,
freehand
no
draw
big
it
deal.
on?
No big deal. I just freehand that.
My mind is exploding.
I'm always doodling, so it's just kind of an
Yeah.
extension of that. I
Yeah,
guess,
just like a
but-
creative outlet for you.
Right.
That is
Yeah.
so cool. That's so cool.
Yes, it is.
See, super jealous. Still jealous.
I know, me too. You're learning something. I just assumed you had an artistic person in each location and they got the chalkboard duty. No, it's you.
We do. And, sometimes they fill in with, work on the cases or
Yeah.
stuff like that. So
Cool.
if we have that person, it's always great to utilize.
Yeah, pass off those duties, I'm sure. 'Cause
Yeah.
That has to take a long time.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So talking about the artwork. So now I'm going to transition into your coffee. So how do you figure out how to do coffee? Like,
Yeah.
do you roast your own coffee?
We
Like,
roast
how's
our own coffee in Pleasantville. Yeah.
Okay.
You've probably smelled that burnt toast smell.
Oh, yeah.
On
Oh,
the
yeah.
Streets. Yeah.
that? Pleasantville smells good.
Right. Pleasantville does smell good. That's very pleasant. So we've been roasting for probably 10 years now, and that really changed the direction of our business to be able to get the roast that we like and develop them. And we've always done a lot of classes, going to Coffee Fest and traveling to where we could learn. And
Sure.
taking our employees with us to, how can we learn to do this better?
Yeah.
So, but, we have 150 employees, and they are the ones with the great ideas a lot of the time. I can do the chalkboards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, it takes the whole team to do everything we're doing. And our roast master, Dylan, and Calvin, they're just amazing. And
Okay, so I was wondering how you come up with your flavors.
Yes.
So do they kind of take on that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And they'll bring it to me and say, "What do you think of this?" I'm like, "Yeah, this is great." So.
Okay, good
And
job,
they'll, like,
guys.
design the
Good
label.
job.
I'm like, okay.
So you design the labels too?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, I
That is-
didn't even think about that. The labels that are on all of
On the coffee
on the
bags,
coffee
yeah.
bags, you design those.
Yeah.
Well, it makes so much
Girlfriend.
sense because everything is so cohesive. I mean, your branding is so on point, and it's just like I see it and I can connect it. It definitely all talks to each other, and that's because you're literally doing it all yourself.
Right.
Oh my gosh! So how did you always know like I was going to design the bags, or did you just kind of start doing it and just kept doing it?
I mean, I started as a graphic designer.
Yeah.
So I was naturally not going to let anybody else do it. Like,
I feel
This is
that
my thing.
so
So,
hard because I
yeah.
went to school for graphic design too.
Right.
And if it's a project that I'm like very passionate about, I'm like, no, it is mine, even though I'm sometimes not always the right person for the job. So I have to pass it off to my talented coworkers
Right.
and be like,
yeah.
you fix this. But yeah, totally.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And that's the part that I enjoy the most.
Yeah.
Creating the spaces, creating the look, creating the brand. And I've always thought that branding is everything and everything is branding. So the rest just kind of fell together. The
Yeah.
fact that we have good coffee, we maybe just got lucky.
Oh.
It's so good. It's so good. Like I'm like, I was not a coffee drinker before, and then I went on a mission trip to Puerto Rico, and I had good coffee in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
And so then I was like, oh, I think I do like coffee, because all I had is like my dad's Folgers,
Right.
And so then I came back and I was trying to find something that was comparable to Puerto Rican coffee, and I'm telling you, Smoky Row is it. Like, it's the only
Yeah.
one that I found that I really, really like. It. I don't know. I don't know if I'm a coffee snob or what, but it's
Oh.
the one.
I know. I went and grabbed a couple bags just so we could have here because we have that giant, very intimidating bun industrial coffee maker. And I'm like, we need to get something good in here. And we had a big name brand kind running through there. And we put this on and everyone's like, damn, this is good. I'm like, yeah, it's Smoky Road coffee. This is the real stuff. It's the real deal.
Yeah, it's so good. What do you have a favorite flavor of coffee that you love the most?
I drink Smoky Row blend every day.
Smoky Row blend.
I do.
Writing it.
Yeah, write that down, everyone. Smoky Row blend.
Right now, I'm drinking candy cashew because it's our fall, one of our fall flavors. And then we kick off Christmas next week, so I'll switch to Jingle Bell Java.
That is what I was like, when am I getting my Jingle Bell Java? I need to know that.
Next Monday.
Next
Yes.
Monday.
It's like
Also writing that down.
we have a sick obsession with Jingle Bell Java in our household. My husband and I, we drink it. I'm not kidding you. Like, I'll probably buy over the holiday season probably 10 bags of it,
Right.
because I love it so much.
Yeah.
It's kind of like all of these different flavors in one, and I can't even describe it.
It's so good.
It's so good.
It is so good.
Yeah. So your flavor masters are killing it.
For sure. My mother-in-law loves the blueberry crumble. Or
I know.
Sorry.
It's blueberry cinnamon crumble.
Yes.
It's such a surprising flavor that
Yes.
people are like, blueberry coffee, but it really works.
It's-
It's probably our number 2 seller.
Yeah, it's so good.
It is good.
I bought a couple bags to send to her, take up to her one time, and left them out on the counter. My dog got a hold of the coffee, and he thought it smelled so good. Ripped it apart, ate some of it, which I Googled that coffee is not great for dogs, by the way. He lived. Everyone survived. I thought I was going to kill him, though, because I'm like, this is like gold.
Right.
So, yeah, damn dogs, but
Dogs
it's
getting
good
your
stuff.
coffee.
Humans, dogs, everyone likes it.
I know.
Yeah.
Good
It
for
is.
any palate.
I did notice a lot of times when you buy like a flavored coffee, the flavor doesn't come out. It just tastes like coffee to me. But I noticed with the Smoky Row ones, when you get a flavored coffee, like you can taste the flavor in it.
Oh,
like
yeah.
if it's caramel, it's going to taste like caramel. If it's the blueberry crumble, it's going to taste like blueberry crumble. And so I just love that part of it. I've actually used it a lot in baking because I baked cakes for a while. And so I'm telling you, go get you a cake mix and sub the water out for the Smoky Row coffee,
Right.
whatever flavor. It's so good.
Really?
Yes, it's
Oh
so
my
good.
gosh.
You could go into a whole line of like baking with
Right.
Smoky Row coffee. But
I love
Wow.
that.
Uh-oh. I see a collab in the future, you two.
I'll
Yeah.
just give you recipes here. You do what you want with them.
Keep me away because I'm going to get so fat. Your scones are so good. And the broccoli cheese cheddar soup with the bread bowl. Oh, my gosh.
So
Don't get me
the
started.
baking that you guys do, because you got killer bakery goods.
Yes.
Where do you bake those at? Are they in house? How does that work?
They're in Pleasantville again.
In
So we have
Pleasantville.
a bakery there and 3 or 4 people that are just baking all day long. So,
I love that.
and it's such a dangerous place to work because I'm in my office and I'm smelling espresso brownies and the coffee roasting. So that's makes it pretty fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it makes it a little dangerous.
Yeah.
I had not had a scone before. I don't even know why. Like I just had never. I've been Smoky Row a million times until this year, and then I finally got one, and I was eating it with my coffee, and I was like, "This is a breakfast cookie."
It's an experience. It's like,
so good.
it takes you out of your body for a minute. Like the orange cranberry scones. Oh, man.
I got the chocolate chip one, and I haven't moved past it. Like I just can't. I go for another flavor, and I just can't. I'm like, I gotta have the cookie with the dunking it in the coffee.
Right.
Oh
know.
man, it's so good.
They are so good. Everything. We're
Just
just
crushing on
fangirling
all of
over
it.
you. Yes. We're like,
We like all of your products.
we do. Oh man. I have a question. Did you model Smoky Row because you were driving to Des Moines like once, twice a day sometimes? Did you kind of model your business after, a combination of businesses in Des Moines or something you had seen when you traveled, or how did you pull it all together?
It did start with traveling in California.
Yeah.
Driving down the Pacific Coast Highway and just stopping at all these coffee shops. That's what introduced me to coffee, was
Yeah.
that vacation. And then I came up with this little game where I would go into businesses in Des Moines, whether they were coffee shops, restaurants, bars, boutiques, whatever. And I would leave with 2 things I liked and 2 things I didn't like.
Oh.
And I'd write them down and tried to pull all those things together in some kind of cohesive way
Yeah.
to
Awesome.
what became Smoky Row.
It's like that Johnny Cash song, building it one piece at a time. And
Yeah.
I won't sing it. It'll hurt everyone's ears. But yeah, it's just like taking all those good ideas. That's such a good idea.
And I still do that when I go
Yeah.
in any place. I think, oh, I really like that chair and I really like this, but
Yeah,
So just a way to keep you creative and keep thinking of a new way to do something.
for sure. Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. So like after having this conversation, it's starting to make sense. Like the graphic design you see in your spaces, and then the antiques, because there's always like the antique, like it feels like your grandma's house kind of feel to it. And then just seeing all of that, and then the coffee and the flavors, like that's really cool. It makes a lot of sense now, like kind of full circle.
Yeah. Awesome.
That is so cool.
I want to self-express myself with a coffee, like something like that. I don't know. I need to get a hobby where I can just.
I don't really have any hobbies besides drinking coffee, I think.
Just drinking coffee and starting businesses.
Yeah, no big deal. Graphic design, just a little this, little that.
She's
no
got
big
it.
deal. Yeah, she's got it.
I love it. So let's talk about a little bit, because you said that you're usually jealous of moms who have it all together. So
Right.
let's talk about this work-life balance. Like, how do you do all of it? How do you manage it?
Right. So 3 boys in high school this year.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Boy mom. We're all 3 boy moms here.
There are
Okay.
boy moms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've all been
I'm gonna have to
spit
ask you for
on
some
and
tips.
kicked on.
Yeah.
No, it seems like I got a great tip from my grandma years ago, and it was, if you feed them, they will come. And that you want all the neighborhood kids in your house. So then you know where your kids are, right?
That's such a good
So I always have all these snacks and not like home cake like you're going to make, but, Cheetos and goldfish and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But so even last night I got home from work and there's like 5 or 6 kids in the house. And so that's my one parenting tip.
Yeah.
Have snacks.
That's
Snacks.
okay. Okay, I'm on it.
I love that. I love too how you want the kids to hang out at your house. So like not only are you making inviting spaces in your work, but then also in your home too, that hospitality.
Yeah.
Just having the kids there. I love that. I love like the parents of those houses. Like I remember them growing up, like the one that you felt comfortable walking in and open up the fridge and like grabbing
Right.
something out.
Right.
Like I think creating those spaces for kids is so important. And I could go on for 10 hours about that because
Right.
of
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
youth initiative experience. But
The
I
greatest
love that.
compliment is when their friends walk in and they're like, "Hi, Mom." And I'm like,
Oh,
this is so
yeah.
sweet.
Love that.
Oh man.
Yeah. So managing that, just making sure your kids are at your house. So when you're there, you're like, hey, I'm home.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, "I don't care. Where's the snacks?"
Yeah.
Hey mom.
Right.
Yeah.
Got any Cool Ranch Doritos?
I feel like high school boys will just eat anything. Like
That's
it doesn't
true.
matter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's insane the amount of food they eat.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure your grocery bill is very high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yep. That's okay. We got to feed them. Got to keep them moving.
That's right. So they're in high school now. Did you like always know you're going to be a working mom? That's just what you were going to do.
Yeah. So I've been owning my own business since I was 20.
Wow.
I tried working for other people, and I found out that I just really wasn't cut out to work for other people.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the kids kind of grew up in the business.
Yeah.
Like, I had a nursery at the flower shop,
Oh.
and, customers would come in and give me that kid or give me that kid. So, there again was that community effort, which was great. But, yeah, that's all they've ever known. And,
Yeah.
I love that.
they
And they
can
probably
stop in after school. So.
Yeah, I'm sure you're instilling like that entrepreneurship, like into them. I'm sure I wouldn't be surprised if they all 3 go start their own businesses and stuff. I mean, they've seen their badass mom do this
Well,
for so many years. It's
know.
really cool.
I tried to get them to work in the business, and they're just like, I don't know about that. So,
maybe they'll come around to it when they go
Yeah.
to college.
Yeah, exactly.
Out of desperation for me.
Yeah.
right.
Actually, Mom, does that offer still stand?
Yeah, I think that's a great example, though, for our kids, for them to see us doing what we love.
Yes.
And I'm sure that you love what you do, obviously, because of the spaces that you've created. And so what a testament to them, just to see your mom do something that they love. Because I honestly want to be an example for my son to, like, what I would want him to do and the things that I would want him to pursue. And so for them to see you doing that, I think is just a testament, and that it'll set them for life. It really will. And you don't even have to do anything different. Like, I just think that's so
Yeah.
cool. But
Yeah.
So, I think they're proud of me.
Oh, yeah. Even
I'm
if they
sure
don't
they
say
are.
it.
Yeah.
yeah, even though you're not cool right now because they're in high
Oh,
school,
right.
but they'll come around. Those years are rough.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Like 15 years until that starts. So, yeah. Need to ask you all for some tips.
Yeah.
Snacks. I gave
Well,
you.
yeah, right, exactly.
That's all you
Snacks.
need is food.
We have snacks. So if that's all it takes, then I think I'm set.
Right.
That pantry is full. That's how I get them out of daycare. I'm like, let's go and get some fruit snacks. Okay?
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
yeah.
There's some goldfish in there. Okay. That's the only way to get them out of there sometimes.
I love that. I think I've gone through almost all of my questions. Did we do that like super fast?
I feel like it was fast. But
Am I
that's
talking too
okay.
quick?
No. No. Yeah. Is there anything else you want to share?
Oh gosh.
Oh yeah, we got to do our advice.
Yes.
I forgot about that.
Yes.
Advice.
Yes.
Yes. Do you have any advice for us? Do you have 2 pieces of advice that
Advice.
you've either received or you like to give?
Okay. Well, I already gave you the snack advice.
That's
but,
true.
Yeah,
That's a
true.
freebie. I'm just going to take that one.
So one of my mentors told me early in business that it wasn't about me, that it was about all the people and take care of your people, that it's better to cross the finish line surrounded by a group of people cheering with you than by yourself. And I've taken that completely to heart, and I know that the most important piece is our people, and that's why our motto is good coffee, good people. But yeah,
I love that.
Me too.
in life and in business, treat everybody as an
Yeah.
equal and the way you want to be treated.
Yes, I love that.
I do too. And I will say, you know, because I have been to so many of the Smoky Road locations, but it just feels like it's you get the same experience. It's just like, I don't know what your screening process is for hiring these people, but I have not met, you know, someone who wasn't so helpful and just so kind. And I'm like, I felt like I could just be friends with these
Right.
people. They all just seem so down to earth, and the service is always great. And I'm like,
Good.
these are good people. So
Well,
yeah,
I think we hire for personality and
Yeah.
then we train for coffee.
there you go.
love
So,
that.
Yes.
And they always look like they're having a good time.
and that's
like,
the other, have fun while you're working. If you
Yeah.
can't do that,
They always look
Yeah.
like they're having fun, and they're always so like trendy.
right? You're so hip.
They are so hip. How does that happen?
it must be. Does it come with the coffee?
It must,
don't
but
know.
I think that they attract like people.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
people come in there and they see that environment and they think, I kind of want to work here because those people look like they're having fun or that looks cool. And so we've never had an issue with having great employees. It's been probably the most important thing of what's been successful
Yeah.
about the business.
Yeah, that's so important. So I guess I know you talked about maybe some more partnerships with some more Hy-Vees down the road, but what is your next big thing that you want to do, or what do you see Smoky Row doing, or maybe it doesn't have to with Smoky Row, maybe it's just you. Like, what's in the future? What can we expect? Or what can we be on the side the
Right.
cheerleaders for?
I think we've always got projects going on, whether it's building our online presence or coming up with new coffee roasts, redesigning the packaging. You know, it's been a while since I've done that, and it seems like a good project. But building this partnership right now is probably taking a lot of my time.
Yeah.
So
Has that had to get you? I mean, obviously you're great at building businesses. You've been doing this, but on this, on the scale, would you rather be more on the creative side, or would you rather be more on that business side, or is it kind of half and half?
I'm really lucky that I get to do both.
Yeah.
And I get to come in and out of so many things and know enough about everything just to be dangerous,
Yeah.
but yet to fake my way through it.
Yeah.
So, I just thought of another piece of advice.
Yes.
My mentor also told me to hire people smarter than me.
Perfect.
Bingo. So everybody, at Smoky Row is way smarter than me. So there's somebody that can figure this out, somebody can figure that out. So
Yes.
I love that.
Surround yourself with good, smart people.
Yes.
That's
smarter than you.
yeah.
And I do
Yes.
feel like she has a little secret weapon in her back pocket. And I met him the first time we met, and that is her father.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This man, he's so cool.
Let's talk about that.
He's amazing. He's been my biggest cheerleader. Also, the one questioning, are you sure you want to do this? I think to be an entrepreneur, you have to be a little bit crazy and a little bit naive. Like, oh, I can open a coffee shop or I can open a flower shop. I don't know anything about that, but that's okay. And he's always in the background saying, are you sure you want to do that? And when I bought the building in Des Moines, he's like, are you sure that's a great idea? Is that a great neighborhood? But So he was always working a full-time job and coming down every night and helping me for 20 years. And then he finally retired and then came to work for me full-time.
Oh.
So he's just amazing. And he taught me a lot about character and to always do the right thing. And I hope that that translates in business and the way that we treat people. And he's the hardest working man in our company.
Oh my gosh.
He's a good guy. He's
Making me a little misty over
Yeah,
here.
I know.
It makes me think of my dad. I mean, we've been talking a lot about moms, but dads, man.
yeah, Dad's where it's at.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he's great. I noticed when we were in Pleasantville, he would always just like walk behind the counter and get coffee, and I was always like, "Who is that guy?
Who's this guy?
How do you get that status?
Yeah.
You're just gonna go get coffee." And then when we met with you and he sat down, and then she was like, "This is my dad." I'm like,
Oh.
"This is all making sense." Pulled up on his motorcycle, right?
yeah.
His
Oh,
helmet. He's just the coolest
I mean,
guy
he's a
ever.
badass also.
Yeah,
don't,
he
don't
is.
get me wrong. But,
Cool. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, it
That's
sounds
right.
like.
So, and I'm so blessed. I work with my sister every day, my dad. My mom has been helping out so much lately, and it's the best part of going to work every day, doing it with my family.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people we've had on here, just so many amazing people, but then it kind of all goes back. They're just gushing about their families. And I'm like, it makes so much sense. You know, good people are a product of good families. And
That's right.
I hope, that I make my family proud in doing that too, because I think, we all feel like we have the best families, and it makes me happy.
Yeah.
Family is so important
Yep.
in anything you do, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, I'm going to be
great.
balling over here.
We're pulling all the heartstrings
know.
today.
Oh, man. What else?
Very nice. I'm trying to think of anything else.
I know. I got super curious too. I'm sorry. I was asking a lot of questions.
That's okay. So your sister, Amy.
Yeah.
So what role does she play with you, like in the company?
So she does all the, accounting, HR, payroll.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got
And there again, something I could never do. She's
That's my
amazing,
love
so-
language right there.
I know.
Accounting.
Right. Yeah. So my brain just doesn't work that way. So, and she's just great at it, and her work ethic is amazing. And she's my best friend. So
Yeah, it just like works out really well too, and that's perfect that you're sisters, and then you have the one accounting brain and you have a creative
Right.
brain.
No
like,
kidding.
That's like a match made in heaven right there.
Yes, it is.
Thank you, Lord, for these sisters and all this delicious coffee.
we start each day, and I'll walk into her. She's already been there since 7 o'clock when I roll in, and I'm like, let's go get coffee. And nice weather. We're sitting out front in the
Yep.
store.
I've
and-
seen you girls. Yep.
Yeah, we sit there a lot and hash through all the what's going to happen that day. We call it our meeting time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Yeah, and has to her. She's super fun too. Like we sat down with her and with Krista and talked to them, and they're just, it's a ball of fun. And then when her dad sat down, I was just like, I feel like I'm part of their family now.
Right. We start finishing each other's sentences.
Yeah.
and-
Aw.
Yeah, it's super fun.
So cool.
Yeah, I love it.
Well, awesome.
Trying to think if I have any other questions.
I know that I do, and I'll think of them afterwards. I'm just like so in the moment. I'm so excited. It's just my brain's full. Yeah. Well, thank you for creating Smoky Row, a place where I feel like everyone feels welcome. And if someone's listening or watching and they have not been, you need to go. It sounds like if you're in the metro, there's one around almost every corner.
Right.
Because it's an amazing place. Not only it's just so cozy and so welcoming and inviting. Like literally, when I was there the other day, someone had there's a fireplace over in this one, and they were just sitting there with their little blanket. I'm like, oh my god, I'm just
So
gonna
cute.
do that myself. But yeah, it's just it's a great place. So
Yeah, and I think it's a great place too if you are new to a community and
Yeah.
there is a Smoky Row in your community. Go hang out there because I think it's a great place to create that community and to touch base with people. And so don't be afraid to reach out and talk. I know the one in Pleasantville, it's a little bit smaller town, but when I'm in there all the time, I'm always just rubbing elbows with people and just having conversations. And it's really fun. I'm always meeting somebody that is on the football team.
Yeah.
Their son is on the football team with my son or, just something like that. So
For sure.
I think it's a great place for you to get integrated into a community if you have one there. So
that's a good idea.
yeah.
Nice advice, Emily.
Thanks. I'm just full of it today. I don't know why.
You are. That's that hair, girl.
I know. I got my sweet hair on.
Your wand.
My fancy hair.
Yeah. I've got my spiky hair, and Krista has her beautiful curly hair. It's giving me hair envy,
We're
both
just-
of you.
We're just rocking it out
Can I have
today.
both at the same time? One side curly, one side. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, and thank you for bringing her on. This was great.
This was super fun. I was wanting to do this one for a while, so I'm excited, and thank you for coming. So
Oh, thanks.
yeah, it was great.
Thank you, and good luck to everything in the future. We're excited to see where it goes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you.